Welcome to Shorty Supercoach, and today we're talking about the Cats. And I am joined by Dad, who has featured in the Shorter the Length podcast about the Ashes, which has been rating okay, even though you've been a little disappointed in the numbers, Dad. But the other day, obviously Geelong.
Here I'm back because popular demand.
Well, I did hear that on the grapevine, but
it's actually me. But
yeah. Makes his own YouTube page just to
30
comment.
calls. Get that old guy back on. It was great.
But obviously a poor display, extremely poor display
Yep.
last Friday, which we've seen quite often in finals of late. And just off the top, we are thankful of what Geelong has provided us over the last decade with premierships and stuff. We understand how fortunate we are there. But under the new reign of Chris Scott, we've got a deplorable finals record, 3 out of the last 13, and it's followed a very similar pattern, slow starts.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest one, slow starts, not handling the pressure, getting beaten by what you know, making poor decisions whether in the coach's box or on the field. So you wanted to discuss the Cats, and
I wanted to have my say.
This is a platform where we can just get to the people, and as a frustrated Cats man, the stage is now yours for a moment.
All right, thanks, mate. Well, I will call this segment "Get Your Head Out of Your Ass, Scott."
I can see that in the title.
Because the biggest problem that he has is not admitting to what is going wrong. And if you can't admit to what's going wrong, then you can't fix the problem. And the three things with Geelong, since Scott's taken over, the bye record, the finals record, and within that finals record, the first quarter. It has just been the same thing over and over again. As I've said to you, you can take a loss, it hurts, it's disappointing, you hate it, but if you learn from it and you go over it and you work to correct it, you can handle it. But the worst thing you can do is to keep losing the same way every time.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. And the thing with Scott is each time we do it, he won't have a bar of it. He comes up with these pitiful excuses with, since 2011, there's only 4 guys that are in the team that have played, it's a different lot of players, all this sort of stuff. But the one thing that's
the common denominator.
Just chimes in again.
The one common denominator
Jesus.
is you, Chris. I mean, he has this attitude that home and away finals, you've got to keep it all the same. You can't do the rah, rah, rah. You can't be too over passionate. You've got to stay nice and level and all this sort of shit that just does not work. And that, if he believes in that and went with it, fine. But you just have to look at it and go, any decent coach is going to go and look at it and go, nah, I got this wrong. It's not working. Obviously, we have to change things up.
Yeah.
And at the moment, you just don't see anything that changes your mind that that's what we'll do. I hope like hell tomorrow we're proven wrong. Even if we get past West Coast though, we've got to go on with it. I mean, it's like in 17 where the shocking loss to Richmond and no one gave us any chance, including myself against Sydney.
Yeah.
And they smashed Sydney. But what did they do the following week?
Terrible opening 40-odd minutes against Adelaide.
Again, so, I want to beat West Coast, but it's also no good beating West Coast and then getting smashed by Richmond. So I see this week that he's talking up a bit more of, aggression and all this sort of stuff. But let's face it, it is all just talk at the moment. And it's just been Groundhog Day with Geelong over and over again. I can go back to, I was listening to Paddy Dangerfield. He actually mentioned Groundhog Day and just mentioned the Melbourne final. You can go back to 2014, where Hawthorn smashed us, but the big one was North Melbourne. There's no way known they were a better side than us.
Yeah.
And they absolutely destroyed us in the first quarter, and it was that absolutely full on, hard at the ball, manic, pressure, tackle, and like we weren't ready.
Yeah.
So we lost that one, and then you can go through to 16 with probably a little fortune to get past Hawthorn, but we won it. Sydney again, all over by quarter time. Then you followed up with Richmond, Adelaide, Melbourne, and now Collingwood. I think I read somewhere, and that's including the Sydney win, where we had 5 goals in first quarters in 6 finals.
3 of those came in the Sydney win.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And even that, which was a great win, I think we won by 59.
Yeah.
We're only up by about a goal at quarter time, so it wasn't as though we blitzed them in that first quarter either.
Yeah.
And I think most people with Chris Scott just want him to own it and say, yes, we have been absolutely shit after the bye. We've been absolute crap in finals. Our first quarters have been deplorable. We realise that, and we're going to do our utmost to change things.
Yeah.
To turn it around, but don't keep giving us this same stuff year after year that he keeps on giving us. You know, the same dribble comes out every bloody year, and it just doesn't work. So, I mean, it is absolutely imperative now that they come out. All I want to see, if I was Scott, all I'm interested in the first quarter, if I'm telling the guys, is tackle and pressure. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about your running patterns, your whole tactics or anything. They just have to bring tackle pressure, because we've been the hunted in every final virtually that we've played. We never seem to do the hunting. There's nothing wrong with passion, Chris. Sure, you don't want guys going absolute white line fever crazy and just going the man and all that, but you can have passion and absolute bloody going in and just hitting the ball, hitting the man and that, and bloody just go for it. You don't have to bloody just be nice and level and, you know, cool and calm, which we're not anyway. I mean, when this pressure comes on, we fall apart, and it's no coincidence that all these teams that we've played in these finals have these record amounts of the pressure rating.
Yeah, I know.
And you hear people go, geez, we're unlucky, aren't we? All these teams just bring their absolute pressure rating to these games. No, we're not. Coaches see all this. All the coaches watch these finals over the years. I can guarantee you every other opposition coach, when you play Geelong, would be going, boys, if you bring maximum pressure to Geelong at the start of the game, they will fall apart. And that's what's happened. So it's absolutely, you know, this monkey on the back is now a gorilla.
Yeah.
They have to come out and just show what they're made of. So, yeah.
Well said. And I do, obviously I agree, because, you know, it's right there to see. You know, Scott's obviously, he's very good in the media, he's a good speaker, he's clearly got some good personal skills with people and players, and he's got a lot of good qualities, but at the end of the day, he's employed to win a premiership. Now, 2011, fantastic. I don't think we would have won it without him. Needed a new voice, all that sort of thing. He steered a very successful ship to where it needed to get to, but under his reign and development and putting together a premiership winning side, he's failed, and not only failed, but put together a team and game style that holds up in home and away season, but then crumbles in the finals. And I heard him say, you know, I think 12 finals in 7 years or whatever, you know, that's pretty successful. You know, we'd take 12 finals. And like I said to you the other day, I'd take 3 in 7 years. 3 winning ones will give us a flag if we finish top 4. I'm not interested in, you know, winning seasons. You know, that's great. That's, you know, of course, there's probably clubs who wish they could taste September and that, but it gets to a point where, what are you going to accept? I don't see Hawthorn going, it's good to finish top 4, 5th, you know, get out in the semis again. You know, they win a flag every 4 years over the last 4 decades or something. I mean, we qualify in positions that give you the best chance to win a flag, and we haven't come that close. I mean, we haven't made a grand final for ages and been smacked in prelims. So he has to answer, and if he goes out and Geelong goes out in straight sets, there's enormous pressure on him. And I would want to get rid of him, but we've signed him for so long that it makes it financially very difficult. I think it's till 2022, but it's very frustrating. And, you know, going to the game Friday, what was frustrating me the most was we'd been told all the second half of the season that we're planning for September, you know, training blocks. Yeah, we're out of form a little bit, but our position on the ladder.
Done all this work for the big moments. Yeah. That's all our pre-season.
I heard it from Paddy, I heard it from Joel, I heard it from Chris. You know, we've been opted the luxury because we're on top. We can, you know, have a mini pre-season, manage our players, all with the promise of delivering it when it matters. And, you know, there was reason to think it could be different, you know, different forward line setup.
Yeah.
At the end of last year, they really revamped it, new game style, you know, more conservative. And the results were pretty good, particularly early in the first half of the season. But then, when it's all said and done, we've got what we've seen so many times before. And perhaps there are a lot of players who just don't handle the bigger moments. But the one constant through it all is Chris Scott.
Yeah, well, that's it. We have had. He's right in saying. So he's actually pointing the gun at himself in a lot of ways because he's saying all this. You go, yeah, it is. There is a lot of different players. So why are so many players struggling in finals? Well, the one common denominator, as we said, is you, Chris. There's something going on there. I mean, it's damning that the guy has got the best home and away record of all time, basically, of coaches over 100 games.
Yeah.
To me, that makes the finals even worse.
Yeah.
That you can go from this 70% to 30%. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, so much has got to come down to him. And once they're out there and everything, the players have got to do what they've got to do. But it's been absolutely unbelievable how bad our first quarters. And if a coach can have any sort of influence, it's probably the first quarter the most.
Yeah.
Getting them ready, you know, what to expect, how to play, all that. And you just don't ever see Geelong come out with that absolute frenetic, just win the ball at all costs, that just manic pressure.
Yeah.
It's always the opposition. And we just keep seeing every other team bring it. I mean, even in games like, I go back to the Essendon game last year at the MCG when Essendon were under all sorts of pressure.
Yeah.
They're absolutely copping it. Everyone knew that Essendon were going to come out and absolutely hit us. Except us. Except Geelong.
8-1 or something like that.
And we just seem oblivious to the fact we come out and we're just not ready for it. And you go, well, guys, what did you expect?
Yeah.
I just, you know, you'd love to be a fly on the wall, wouldn't you? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, it's not just Chris, because I mean, it's all the coaching panel and that. Sure, he has the final say, but I mean, we've got guys like Enright and Scarlett who know what it takes.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, the other guys, Knights, and we brought across bloody Lloyd, who's meant to be a tactical genius, and all this sort of stuff. But whatever they're doing is just not working. And I mean, the club as a whole, I said to you earlier in the week, you know, the reserves have lost at least their last 4 finals too. People go, oh, it's not got much to do with it. Well, it has. It's your club.
Club culture.
It's that culture. And it makes me even more in awe of our guys from 7 to 11.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing harder than turning a culture around.
Yeah.
A team that is always, you know, the perennial bridesmaid, the ones that don't perform. We've seen how hard it is for St Kilda and Melbourne and all those clubs to turn that around. And as a Geelong supporter, when I was young, you know, there's times where, I hate to say it, but you're embarrassed to be a Geelong supporter because we copped all the handbag rubbish and you know, the finals, we just didn't perform. And then even under Blighty, we started performing finals, but the grand finals became an absolute shocker. And that was Geelong. Geelong, they play a lovely style of footy. They're great to watch, very skillful and that. But when it really comes down to it, you know, you wouldn't mind playing them in finals.
Yeah.
So for that team to turn that around, and I laugh that people go, oh, Geelong were always going to beat Port Adelaide in the 2000s. No way.
Yeah.
People quickly forget how well Port Adelaide were playing in the finals, had beaten us at home
Yeah.
just before the finals.
Yeah.
And the pressure on that side was just huge, a lot like the pressure that's on the side now.
Yeah.
It was 44 years of failure. So for them to turn it around and make us a club that were looked upon by every other club
Yeah.
as a great club,
You're
and not
proud.
only that, we turn around. Cookie and Costa were fantastic as well. Turn the club round off the field as well.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic to have a team that you can be proud of. That
You can
plays
walk
for
a
the
little
top.
taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never expected to be back to where I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Sure, I didn't expect that, absolute success that we had. You can't keep doing that all the time. But to actually go back to this club that is just feeble when it comes to pressure and just can't perform on the big stage. I mean, even things like the MCG stuff. I'm sure other clubs, they would have argued the fact that, we think we should get a home game. But when you don't, use it. Where's that us against them mentality? The AFL's against us, everyone's against us. Tell me it's stuffed.
Yeah.
They can go and get stuffed. We're going to show them. It doesn't matter where we play.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Play on bloody beach. We'll play on bloody local
road,
park.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. We'll bloody win. And we just don't have that. And all we have, every other club's having their great moments against us now.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is really hard to take. So tomorrow night, it's right up there. And as I said, I'll be racked if they can turn it around, but it's just not good enough with one win.
Yeah.
They have to bloody continue on and start playing football when it really counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it all starts with tomorrow night. And there has been a bit more of that. I've never seen Scott as agitated in media conferences, and I feel like there is a bit of the us against them and the rest of the world mentality. And you can't always rely on that emotional response. You certainly can't rely on it in finals because you've got to win games in a row.
Yeah.
But I think they have to draw upon it this week.
Yes.
And I expect a good performance. I think West Coast deserve to be slight favourites. But I will go in, and I'll put my supporter cap on. I will go in and barrack my ass off. And those people who say, no expectation, no disappointment, you can shove that up your ass. Because I'll by the time tomorrow rolls round, I'll be believing, I'll be riled up, and I'll be flat as a tack if we go down. The easy option is to just go, oh, we probably won't win, so I won't get my hopes up. And then when you start winning, you go, oh, no, I thought they had a chance. No, I'm all in. But the previous 20 minutes, that's Shorty's analytical hat,
Yeah.
The reality is, poor in finals. If I'm in a tipping comp, I'm tipping West Coast.
Yeah.
But I'll put my supporter's hat on, and I'll believe, because I want to believe, and sometimes those wins are even sweeter than anything because people want Scott gone, everyone's writing us off, even on the radio, no one thinks we can win. And look, probably if I was an opposition supporter in a similar scenario with another club, I'd be saying the same thing. But this is where, as a supporter, you feel like you are just part of a club that no one else believes in, and let's stick it right up. But yeah, I mean, definitely there's going to be enormous amount of pressure on the team, and that's what it's about. Step up to the plate.
I admire your positivity.
Yeah.
My
optimism is a strong point.
No, that's good. I unfortunately haven't got to the stage.
I know, yeah.
Where they have to show me, they have to win me over again because I've been through a lot of pain. I'll say it, I've said to you guys plenty of times. I went to 8 grand finals.
Yeah.
4 day, 4 night.
Yeah.
8 grand finals. Was actually there for all of those 8. How many do you reckon I came home with as the
I'm
big day?
guessing none.
None. absolutely zilch.
That'll be the opposite down at Broward.
Yeah, and the pain in that hurts so much. So again, I'm rapt that they finally became a great team, and I'll be forever, 2007 to 11, those guys are absolutely immortals, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I haven't got that same positivity as you, because they have, for the last 5 years, they've said the same things and they have not produced. So I'm not convinced, whatever they say, it wouldn't matter what they said this week. It means nothing to me. I just go out and win.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I don't care how you do it, but just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's
Just
got
show
to
it.
that stage where I do think they will lose. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I hope they can turn it around. But at the moment, they've just got to absolutely show us what they can do. And they haven't been able to so far. So, down to you, boys.
Yeah.
It's, it's for the jumper, the hoops, whatever you like to do to get yourself up and going, just do it.
Yeah.
Because for too long, these players are fearing it.
Yeah.
We see the fumbling, we see the nervousness. Well, they've got to face it. They've
Yeah.
got to embrace it and go, okay, let's bloody have a great win. Take it on, have a great win, show what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they certainly want to bring that. And I think from a tactical point of view, I think they need to play just a little bit quicker too.
Definitely.
I know we play conservative and our style is to protect with or defend with ball in hand. Long down the line, we rarely pull that trigger. But maybe my memory escapes me. The stats might say otherwise, but I swear earlier in the season, when there was the time to go, particularly at home, we did go pull that trigger. But so I think they've definitely, I'm not saying change the whole game plan, because they're not going to do that. Say you're 80% cautious or conservative now, bring that back to 65, 70, or if it's there, back yourself to hit that kick.
But there's times in a game where you can go and there's times that you can't, isn't there?
Yeah.
So what they've got to do is, if that guy's on, if you see that guy that's on in an attacking position, then pull the trigger.
And they showed it last week that they can do it. And I know we had to do it, but we have enough star quality to do that sort of a football game plan. So you want to get it in long to Hawkins. You want some of these stars to have the chance to shine. And, I know it got you to the top of the ladder, but there's got to be some tweaks, because it didn't stand up under the finals heat. So.
No. There's blokes that are really do, you got to wonder about their ability under the finals pressure. Well, they have to just look at themselves and take it. As I said, you can go two ways. You can go, we're just struggling, we're battling, oh God, I couldn't stand another loss. Or just go, I'm sick of it. That's what we've got to the stage. They have got to go, absolutely had a gutful of this. I mean, how many times can you watch a team at the end of the game walk off, heads down, totally disappointed? Well, to me, that's crap. Because if you're fair income, if you're that devastated and you're that disappointed, you don't keep bringing the same thing. It's just absolute rubbish. You're not disappointed. You're not devastated, because you've done nothing to turn it around.
Yeah.
So it's now or never, really, with Geelong. I said to you all year.
Yeah.
I mean, no one thought we'd finish on top. I'm surprised as anyone. Those first 6 games, people were going, oh God, we might not win one.
Yeah.
And all credit. And I said to you that I thought Chris Scott, first half of the year, credit to him, he had changed a few things, the forward pressure, all that, But it didn't matter. We could be 22-0 coming into the finals. Means nothing. It does not matter how Geelong play home and away at all anymore. They have to produce in finals. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. If we go out in straight sets, or even if we go out to Richmond next week, then once again the next year, put yourself up there again. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The monkey gets to be a gorilla, and that's what's happening at the moment. So these guys have got to turn it around and be smarter too, because they have just been able to let teams play the game they want to play and not play what we need to play.
It'll take something away from the opposition. You know, looking at last week, I'm sure Collingwood got the games they wanted from Grundy, Pendlebury, Sidebottom, Adams, Treloar, Moore, Howe.
Yeah.
You know, the list goes on, and we got our games from our players we wanted from Dangerfield, probably Stewart, and that's about it. And I think it's, you know, on that point, a few chaos balls into the forward line, because we can't put it up to Hearn, Barras and Govan and Shepherd to a lesser extent. You know, so I think that's even more reason to take a risk through the middle, because I don't know if you saw on 360, but the Bombers had so many players in the middle at times to pull that trigger, and they didn't. Ended up bombing along the west coast. I think they had 9 intercept marks in about 20 minutes. So it's sort of our game style to go down the line, but it could play in the hands. So I think we've got to be a bit shorter and sharper down the line, or pull that trigger into the middle.
Yeah.
And the first 15-20 is crucial, because, as you say, I've got no doubt that come 7:50 or whenever the game starts, that the players will be ready to make a stand and believe and want to. But that's almost an illusion. Players, unless you truly believe, I think you roll yourself up to, come on boys, you know, you have a false sense of belief. But if you start well, that can sort of get rolling. Where if you start poorly and you've got a bad record, then the demons creep in and you go, oh crap, nah, it's no different. And that's where I don't care how much you hurt. You are scarred and incapable, and if you've got too many blokes out there feeling those feelings after 15 minutes when you're 3 goals down, then it'll be the same over. If you can get enough guys believing, and even if it's just on rolled up hype.
And that's what I think. See, I, in one little way, I disagree with it. I don't think we have come in hyped up in any of these games.
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah.
But I think by the time the ball is bounced, I think we will. And that's why I think we'll get that response similar to Sydney. There was a real buzz about it. But if it doesn't, you can start in that mindset. It doesn't always convert to goals. You might get a little unlucky. The opposition might be on.
Yeah.
If it doesn't convert, then the demons will set in and the doubt.
They can't be out of the game at quarter time, can they?
No,
I mean, it's just ridiculous how it's happened. So, yeah, I just think they have to be just frenetic and just absolutely go crazy. There's just some games. Clarkson's, he doesn't mind bloody ripping the absolute crap out of some of his players and that. Pick your moment. Yeah, it's a different game. It's a different time. In the days of Barras and all that, where players just absolutely used to cop it and all that. Yeah, and it's a different bloody generation. But they don't all have to be mollycoddled either. They don't have to all, put your hands. There's some times where you have to just absolutely go, tell them the truth.
Yeah.
Get stuck into them.
Yeah.
They're big boys. They're getting paid big money. Sometimes a few home truths are good, and I remember that Richmond game in 2017. You saw the way Richmond came out, because their finals record was just like ours. They were that team that non-performers and that, and they changed their culture around. Richmond now, in the last 3 years, have changed that culture around, and it just comes from guys being absolutely full on, believing themselves, believing in their ability, believing in each other, and just going for it, not fearing. At the moment, Geelong look like they almost fear that things are going to go wrong, and that's why we fumble and we don't play well under pressure. And the thing that annoys me is, going back to some of those other losses, these days we do all the edits, we go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. Have we come up with a way of what we do when that pressure comes? No.
Yeah.
We just are still bereft of ideas of what to do. And that comes down to coaching. I mean, that comes down to, okay, guys, this is what's happening. Teams are absolutely bringing that full-on pressure rating and that. How do we go about coping with that? I mean, the best idea would be to turn it around on them. But I've found in the past that we just handle way too much, and that just brings that constant pressure all the time and blokes are just continually getting hit with tackle after tackle. Well, they've got to turn that around. They've just got to bring their A game, be confident, take it on. I see Scott said about risking that. That's what they got to do. They've got to risk it for the biscuit, mate.
Yeah.
So time will tell. We'll all see tomorrow. But I tell you, if they lose tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen, because I think there's just a real groundswell of Geelong supporters that have had enough.
I'll hide the microwave.
Yes, yes.
Although my
You haven't got your membership?
No,
though,
I don't want to.
apparently.
I don't want to go into
No?
it. No.
Not sure what happened.
I dropped it off a bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these things happen. These things can
It
happen.
happens.
Yeah.
So,
Is my footy record with that?
a
No.
lot of in jokes for a crowd that doesn't know.
Yeah,
It's,
still. We've only got 50 following us.
no, I reckon football related, I'm minimum triple figures here.
Okay, get on board, people.
Yeah. Well, you'll be working. I'm sure a few texts will be exchanged, but hopefully we do play well. So, thanks for the discussion, Jeff.
Go Cats.
Thanks, mate.
Fuck's sake, go Cats! You heard that last bit.
I'm keeping it in there.
All right.